All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Matty here from Chill TCG. We have another Evolving Skies deck profile to take a look at today. This one, actually one of my personal favorites, and I know one that a lot of people probably just aren't going to be talking about really at all. And that is, of course, Gyarados VMAX featuring the new Suicune V. So these are cards that, again, we haven't really talked about or shown too much on the channel. And actually, today we're going with another post-rotation video. A lot of these deck lists that I guess probably won't see a lot of play in the next few weeks. From Evolving Skies, it makes a lot more sense to me to do post-rotation deck lists just to kind of, I guess, make them a little bit more relevant and playable after a rotation happens in a couple weeks. But Gyarados VMAX, let's go ahead and take a look at the V. First off, 220 HP, retreat cost of 3, water type, weak to electric. Doesn't resist anything though, which is interesting. It's got 2 attacks. The first one, and this one's important actually, so keep this one in mind. We have Get Angry. 2 water energies and a colorless energy, 20 damage for every damage counter on this Pokemon. Definitely actually a really cool attack. And then the second one for 3 water energies and a colorless heavy storm, 180. The V Pokemon, realistically, not that great, but 220 HP with 2 attacks that are kind of okay. Not that bad, realistically, at all. However, when we get into the VMAX, this is where things get a little bit more spicy. 330 HP on the VMAX, so kind of a beefy boy. Retreat cost of 4, so not often are we going to retreat out with Gyarados. We have 2 attacks, though, on this thing. Hyper Beam, 2 water and a colorless, 120 damage, but you discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. This is going to be actually the first of the 2, or first of 3, I suppose, main attacks that the deck will be centered around. Now, 120 damage for 3 isn't that great, but discarding an energy actually can be really good, considering how if we get 1 extra energy on the following turn, we do 240. So the whole idea here with Gyarados VMAX is we get 3 energies on, right? If we can manage to do that, we'll do 120, discard an energy off the active Pokemon. And what this is going to do is kind of buy us time so that we might not actually get hit the next turn. And then we can follow up with 240, which is 360 total. Definitely going to get the KO on any sort of VMAX Pokemon, things like that. Max Tyrant is that second attack, 3 water and a colorless, 240, which is actually a really good number. Also, one hit KOs every pretty much every V Pokemon in the format. However, like I said, that Get Angry attack is definitely really important because we are going to be running 2 Memory Capsules. This thing came out in Vivid Voltage. I don't know if a lot of people really remember Memory Capsule, but it definitely is pretty interesting for sure. This tool card reads that the Pokemon this card is attached to can use any attacks of its previous evolutions. So the whole idea here is that we can use Get Angry, right, which is the attack where we do 20 damage for every damage counter onto our Pokemon, with the VMAX, with 330 HP. So we're probably living any one hit, realistically, like 99% of the time. And oftentimes, if we get hit with 180, 200 damage, in the 200s or somewhat like that, if we take a hit, then we can just kind of retaliate with Get Angry and do an absolutely insane amount of damage and pretty much one-hit KO anything in the format with that retaliation attack. So those are the 3 attacks we're going to be centered around, right? Hyper Beam to discard the energies, Max Tyrant, a consistent 240, but we also have Get Angry, which gives us absolutely massive potential to do insane amounts of damage. There is a caveat, like we have to have Memory Capsule on the VMAX in order to use Get Angry. We are only running 2 in the deck, but we draw pretty rapidly with a deck like this, and overall, I think that it definitely is going to be a pretty cool combo. So, Gyarados VMAX, definitely pretty awesome. We are going to be running the Frosmoth engine. We are running a 4-3 Gyarados lineup, by the way. We are running the Frosmoth engine because with a deck like this, Gyarados requires so many energies, we really have to put extra measures in place to get those energies onto the Gyarados. So running a 4-3 Snom and Frosmoth lineup. And we also have a Suicune V, one of the new cards from Evolving Skies. Actually a really great V Pokemon here. The ability is great, and the attack is great. 210 HP, weak to lightning. Retreat cost is 2. So the ability is fleet-footed. Once during your turn, if you're in the active spot, you can draw a card. So it's just going to be a really nice pivot for us. We're going to attach Air Balloon to this thing. We're going to keep it in the active spot whenever we can. If we get knocked out, we'll go into the Suicune. Realistically, we're going to try to draw 2, 3, 4 extra cards throughout a game. Definitely going to be a good option. But we also have the Blizzard Rondo attack, which does 20 damage and does 20 more for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. So in this deck, we can definitely fill up our bench pretty easily. And a lot of decks right now are going to have a lot of Pokemon on their bench. It's going to help with the Eternatus matchup for sure. I think that this deck actually has a pretty good Eternatus matchup. Discarding the energies, we have Suicune, which will do a lot of damage. And we also have the Get Angry attack to retaliate in 1-hit KO. E-turn VMAXs. So I think that our E-turn matchup is actually quite good. Of course, this is post-rotation, so there's no Mew in the deck, which means our Urshifu matchup definitely going to be struggling a little bit there. But definitely we still have a little bit of potential. And we are running a Crobat V, just as some kind of extra draw support. We have one Capacious Bucket in the deck because, you know, why not? Definitely going to be important to get those water energies in our hand to use with Frosmoth. So we're going to go ahead and just run one Capacious Bucket. You'll notice that we are running 4 Crushing Hammers in the deck. Again, you know, the Hyper Beam, right, from Gyarados where we discard the energy. Really what we want to do is hit a Crushing Hammers on that same turn, be discarding 2 energies off the active Pokemon, you know, with 1 attack, right? So it's really, really powerful. Really sets us up for that that second attack, which we'll use to finish off KOs. So the Crushing Hammer Hyper Beam combo can be really, really good, but it's just a little bit hard sometimes to find that hammer and hit it. But 4 in the deck, hopefully we can make that happen. Plenty of Pokemon Search, 4 Quick Balls, 2 Level Balls, 3 Evolution Incense. Level Ball is going to be good because we can grab Snom and Frosmoth, both collectively with Level Ball. And then 4 Quick Ball, 3 Evolution Incense because we are running that 4-3 Gyarados lineup. We're running 3 Switch cards and 2 Air Balloons. The Switches are going to be primarily to get the Gyarados out of the active. And then we're going to attach Air Balloon to something like Suicune or Frosmoth so they work as a pivot because with Ice Dance, we can only attach water energies from our hand to our benched water-type Pokemon as often as we'd like. So this thing either has to be in the active or both of the Pokemon that are going to be in the combo have to be on the bench. So for that reason, 2 Air Balloon I think definitely makes a lot of sense. Now, I do think that there's not a lot of post-rotation stadium cards that are quite good for a deck like this, but overall, I think Training Court definitely has a pretty good fit. Kind of allows us to discard some of these 9 water energies throughout the game, and every turn we can kind of bring one back into our hand and then Ice Dance it onto one of our benched Pokemon. So definitely kind of powerful in that regard. I think that 2 Training Court makes a lot of sense in the list. Then kind of a standard supporter lineup. We are running 3 Boss's Orders, 2 Marnie, 4 Research, but we do still have, on top of all that, 3 Melony. So we are running Melony in a Frosmoth deck. The reason for that mainly being that we really want to get those energies on our Gyarados as consistently as possible. Frosmoth, if we get that out, probably going to be our main way to accelerate the energies, but Melony definitely going to be that good option. It also just kind of allows us, like I said, to discard some of those water energies early game. And we are running 9 water energies, but we also do have 2 Capture. I think the Capture Energy is definitely really important when you're playing a Frosmoth deck. You want to get that Snom down on your bench, or at least a Gyarados down on your bench. Realistically, we want to get Gyarados, Snom, and Suicune down on turn 1. Most of the time, that's not going to happen, but I think that you prioritize getting Snom and Gyarados down, and then your third option to bench is probably going to be Suicune. And then after you get that Suicune down, we can go ahead and find another Snom and Gyarados. So that's kind of the priority order there. But Gyarados VMAX, definitely a really fun deck. I think that it's extremely powerful, if I'm being 100% honest with you. And a very, very powerful deck, but I do think that it does struggle with some consistency problems. Very similar to Lapras VMAX, if I'm being honest. Very similar decks, these two. But Gyarados can be really fun and disruptive. But I think that, I don't know. It stands to be questioned whether Lapras might be better than Gyarados or vice versa. But either way, definitely a really fun deck to play. So let's get into it. Let's hop on the ladder. Let's play some matches. Comment below. What do you guys think of Gyarados VMAX? Which is something you guys might play. It's probably one of those really cheap VMAX cards as well. This whole deck is probably relatively cheap, other than the Suicune, I think. So it might be a good budgetary deck option. Who knows? But let's hop onto the ladder, play some games. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I cannot wait. All right. Let's hop onto the ladder, play with some Gyarados VMAX. Can definitely be a struggle. We're kind of a slow-paced deck. It might take a little bit while to kind of draw into all the cards we need and to set up the way we need to. But once we do get set up, and if we get set up early, we're typically in a really good spot. We're starting off with the Suicune, which could be a lot worse, I suppose. But going first, this hand is definitely not super ideal at all. We might be going straight Suicune this game. We'll see. Okay, so we are playing Blissey, which is interesting. But we can go ahead and let's fleet-footed, just like straight off the bat. We really want to get a Snom down this turn, but unfortunately no Snom possible, so we're just going to go ahead and attach to the Gyarados. This matchup can be really funny. We do have Crushing Hammers, we do have Hyper Beam, so we can kind of keep down the damage that this Blissey can do over time. But we kind of just have to hopefully hope that he doesn't have an incredible turn this turn. Like if he researches away like a bunch of energies, then we're in a really bad spot. We do see the Minccino, so he's going to be playing the Make Do engine. He's going to Quick Ball away a Hyper Potion, which is good, and grab another Minccino. So at least he doesn't get a bunch of energies in his discard pile. He's just going to hit us for 40. You know, overall, I don't think that that's too bad for us, if I'm being honest with you. Let's go ahead and Evolution Incense for the Gyarados. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then we're going to go ahead and Fleet-Footed. And we see that we have 3 Melonies in our hand. That is definitely not pretty ideal, I think. But you know what? I think what we should do here, actually, is I'm going to attach, and we're going to research away the 3 Melonies. Very, very unfortunate starting hand for us, I think. But we do find the Snom, so we can bench both of these, I think, for sure. And then, yeah, I mean, I think we're kind of good just to pass. I think that we're fine to go ahead and pass this turn. We can grab Frosmoth next turn. We can research Fleet-Footed, hopefully get into a nice little play where we can set up a good bit of energies. I think that would be pretty beneficial for us, but he's going to go ahead and set up his board state, and now he's going to be able to discard a lot of those energies, if he plays his cards right this turn, he might be able to get 5 energies onto this Blissey after the next turn, which would be really good for him, I think, for sure. Unfortunately, I think he just drew poorly, so he's going to go ahead and scoop up that game. Not much we can really do there. I guess he just didn't want to face us. I don't know. You know, maybe he's afraid of the Gyarados. Let's hop into one more game. Let's keep the games rolling here. I want to get some good gameplay with Gyarados. I haven't seen a lot of Eternatus on the ladder. I haven't seen realistically, I just haven't seen a lot of the decks the last few games that we would like to play against, I think. But hey, sometimes, you know, we just kind of have to deal with it. We're playing Colder. He's going to choose who goes first, and I bet you 100% that he is going to choose to go first. He actually goes second. Wow. You do not see that very often. I am actually absolutely incredibly surprised by that, if I'm being honest. He's also going to mulligan. So we'll see what we're playing against here. Get a look at his hand. It looks to be Malolana Rosa. Is this Decidueye? I don't know what we're playing against, if I'm being honest. Might be a very interesting matchup. If it is Decidueye, then we are definitely going to bounce out of here. Not a matchup that we can, 1, win, and then 2, we really want to play, if I'm being honest with you. It's just not going to go very well for us. Although, with the Hyper Beam plays, that could be funny. So we might play it out. We might just try to deck him out of energy. I think that could be actually really, really funny. So maybe if it is Decidueye, maybe we still play it out. Yeah, it definitely would be an interesting matchup for sure, I think. But hey, you know, we'll try it out. We'll play it out, whatever it might be. And again, the difficult thing here is when I hop on the ladder and we play some games, we'll take that double mulligan. It's oftentimes really difficult for us to showcase exactly what the decks can do, because a lot of times the matchups don't really call for all that. And that can be really tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, that can be, you know, that can be kind of a problem, I think. But it's also one of those things where, you know, you kind of have to use your imagination. To some respect. Let's grab a Snom, put that on the bench. I kind of like where this is going, I think. We can Air Balloon the Suicune. It's attached to the Gyarados. But, yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, I explain the deck list and everything that the Gyarados VMAX can do, everything that the deck is built to do, but sometimes when you hop on the ladder, certain matchups call for different kind of functions with the deck, and you can't really get to showcase everything that you would like to. We are playing the Rowlet, though, so this could be a pretty funny matchup. We're going to rely on our Hyper Beams here, as well as our 4 Crushing Hammers in the deck, and we're going to literally just try to remove all of the energy in his list, and we're going to try to just out-survive him. I think that's literally our goal here. The problem is that he can't snipe the bench. He can't do all of that jazz. So we're definitely probably a little bit worried about that overall. But we're going to try our best. Let's immediately Fleet-Footed here. We're going to see if we can draw into something good. There's another Crushing Hammer. That one hits, though, which is funny. So I think what we're going to do this turn is actually just Melony onto the Gyarados. Draw 3 more cards. Now we can actually attach. And let's bench this other Gyarados. What do we want to do here? Let's Quick Ball away the research. We do not have Crobat in the deck, which is very unfortunate, I think. And we only have 2 Gyarados VMAXs, so let's just grab a V, I suppose. Yeah, no reason to really attack this turn, is there? So I think we are just going to pass. Not much else that we can really do. We're going to be playing the slow game here. We're going to try to get 3 energies on a couple Gyaradoses and just Hyper Beam over and over again. And hopefully we hit those Crushing Hammers, and that's kind of what this deck is all about. Funny, I mean, we do a lot of damage, but against a deck like decidueye where we can't do any damage, the ability for us to discard energies might actually just be the kind of the savior of our list. I think this guy might be playing like ordinary rods and things like that. I think decidueye often does. He discards the energy. This guy has no idea. But yeah, I think he does play ordinary rod, so that obviously will make things a little bit more difficult for us. He's going to attach the big charm. That's not going to matter. Does get the Turffield Stadium out as well. I don't know if I want to play Training Court though. You know what I mean? Because then the deck out strategy just doesn't really make a lot of sense. If you know what I'm saying. So let's Crushing Hammer. We're going to miss that one. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Let's Fleet-Footed yet again. Let's draw another card. Okay, so we have 3 of our switching cards, which is not great. But that's actually all of them. But either way, I think let's Quick Ball away this Gyarados. Thin out this other Gyarados. I think. Is it worth ever playing one? No, it's not, is it? No, we're just going to research. We'll see what we draw into. Okay. Not bad at all, actually. Not a bad hand to draw into. We have all of our nice evolution Pokemon here, which is always pretty cool to get into. And unfortunately, we do not have another energy, though, and that's definitely pretty annoying, I think. Very annoying, actually. Mainly because we can't even KO this Snorlax. So I think... We can attach Memory Capsule, I think, why not? But I mean, I think maybe... I don't even think we switch in and attack this turn. To be honest, I think we literally have to wait because we missed that 1 energy. We can evolve the Frosmoth, though. But yeah, I think we wait because we missed that 1 energy. But next turn, we're going to try to bring this thing up, Hyper Beam it, do all that good stuff. He might just switch into it anyway as well. But also one of those things where, you know, we're kind of playing the long game here. I think decidueye does 90 damage, so we can take quite a few hits, I think, with Gyarados. Between the 2 of them, at least, enough maybe to where we can Hyper Beam and kind of slow him down. We also should have a couple of Crushing Hammers left in our deck, so this is going to be a very funny matchup. We're in for the long haul, guys. I don't know if we're really going to be able to showcase what Gyarados can do, but some of you guys might be just interested to I suppose, see what Gyarados or a lot of decks are going to be able to do against decidueye post-rotation. So, although a lot of the cards that are in decidueye aren't going to be here after rotation, so... something to keep in mind. We see the double decidueye on board, and this guy's probably like, ooh, we got the win. He might have the win, honestly, though. Like, we might not actually have a chance. But we're going to try our best, and we're going to see if we can, of course, possibly get rid of all of those energies. We got to be careful, though. We might deck out, so we got to play this matchup a little bit differently than, you know, I guess how he might play. But... now I think things are in order, and we also have the Crushing Hammer, which is very funny. Let's Fleet-Footed. We're going to retreat into this Gyarados, and I think we're going to boss right now. We're going to just immediately start getting rid of the energies. That's going to be our best strategy. We do hit the Hammerheads, which is very funny, and we're going to go ahead and just Hyper Beam to discard another one. So this guy immediately has 4 energies in the discard pile. I don't know how many energies decidueye runs, if I'm being honest, but I think at this point... you know, this is the strat. Like, this is literally what we're going to do. I don't know why I attached a 4th to this Gyarados. There probably wasn't any reason to do that. We should have just attached to this one, but hey. You live and you learn. So, we might be here all day, if I'm being honest. This definitely could be a long matchup. We're just going to be attacking. That's literally all we're going to be doing. And, of course, for him... he needs, if he plays one ordinary rod or if he plays more than one, that could be really difficult for us. He's going to go ahead and discard some more stuff. He's actually Cynthia Caitlining. I don't know what for. Perhaps the boss's orders. We are down all of our switch cards, so that would not be good. I actually grabs the Marnie, which is very interesting for sure. And he also attached energy to the active, and I don't know if that's actually the smart play in the matchup. You probably don't want to do that. And I'm actually not going to play any more energies because we kind of have to play the deck out game. You know what I'm saying? So let's just Hyper Beam yet again. We're going to discard that energy off the active. I wonder if this guy knows what we're trying to do yet at this point. I wonder if he understands. He might want to start attaching to his bench decidueye at this point. But even if he does, How many are we down? Okay, we still have our Marnies. So we're going to see if he actually ends up just playing too many cards and goes down to a smaller deck size than us. Because that might be that might be the way that we kind of get this rolling here. He's down 5 energies, though. And we haven't seen Ordinary Rod yet. He hasn't discarded it, though, either. So it's probably in his hand or something like that. Here comes the Rare Candy. So going to be playing a few more cards. I don't really see him playing anything that will allow him to draw more cards, if I'm being honest. But if he does, you know, if he does that, he attaches to the active yet again. I'm not sure what the strategy here is, unless he switches back out. He's going to grab that card from his deck, so that's another one, and he's going to Big Charm. So he is playing cards, so that's good for us, and he's going to Marnie us. That's not great, I think, because he goes to 23 cards in deck. We're going to go to 17 again, so that doesn't really help. We do see another Marnie. Yeah, I don't know why he attached to the active, though. That seems a little bit weird. He's going to tackle, grabbing double Cynthia Caitlyn. Cynthia Caitlin's another great way for him to not deck out as well, because he's going to be able to grab cards from his discard pile. But we're kind of just sitting. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna absolutely just hang out. I think again, we cannot play Training Court down, even though it's pretty tempting. We just cannot justify doing that. Let's get rid of his 6th energy, and we're kind of expecting the Ordinary Rod here at some point, right? Like that's kind of the big selling point for him at this point, that he should probably still be able to win. He's gonna attach yet again to the active. I don't know what the strategy here is, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know why you would just keep attaching to the active. Doesn't seem very productive of a play for him. And there we go. Okay, so he actually concedes. I don't know. Maybe he just, I don't know. I don't know what that was, if I'm being honest with you. Definitely kind of interesting last couple of games. Let's play one more. Okay, we're going to play one more game and see if we can, and see if we can, you know, get into some actual Gyarados shenanigans. We want to do big damage. We want to utilize Memory Capsule. We want to do all that good stuff. We're playing Ruthless Glitch. Kind of a cool name. Very edgy name, I think, for sure. He's got the Team Plasma coin. And let's see what he... Okay, so we won the coin flip. Always good when we win the coin flips. We're going to choose to go first, I believe, to be the smart play. We're starting with Crobat, though, so definitely not a good start. But double quick ball, I guess, could be good. We top deck the research as well. So let's quick ball away the boss. We're playing Dragapult as well, which is actually very funny. But I think what we have to do is attach, and we're going to quick ball away Melony. So we're going to probably hammer and then research next turn. But we do get the Snom and the Gyarados down this turn, which means that we have the possibility of KOing this Dragapult V next turn. It's a little bit of a stretch, but it is possible. And I think that's kind of the absolute dream for us at this point. This could be a pretty interesting matchup, though, if I'm being honest. Could be very, very interesting. I don't know if he has any way to accelerate energies more than just attacking. So the Hyper Beam might be really good in this matchup as well. And you can kind of see where in these types of scenarios and in these matchups where Hyper Beam could be really, really good if you can get it off early. But again, going first is so much better than going second right now in this format. It's absolutely insane. Path to the Peak, not going to help us really. Not going to hurt us really, I suppose, because Dark Asset is already... Crobat is already in play, so we're not going to be utilizing that ability anytime soon, I think. But let's see. Let's see how this game goes. He's going to bite us for 30. If this hammer hits, that would be really, really nice. Let's see. It never does, though. Nope. Never, ever does. Running Crushing Hammers is just super funny to me, like all the time. It's just a really good time. Jeez Louise. Okay, so let's put the Gyarados on here. I think what we have to do is grab the Suicune. Let's Air Balloon this. Let's go ahead and Evolution Incense for the Frosmoth. Oh wait, why did we do that? No, we could have literally Hyper Beamed this turn. Wow, massive misplay on my part. Absolutely massive misplay. But hey, you live and you learn. We'll have to wait for next turn to do something. We could have literally just Hyper Beamed the active. It would have been like a super good play. And Path to the Peak's in play, so I don't know why we put Suicune in the active anyway. I don't know what we're doing. It's early in the morning for me, guys. But hopefully next turn, we're going to be able to set up something good. That was very bad, though. Don't do what I just did. Certainly not the correct play to do. Now he's got double energies and a Dragapult VMAX, so he's in a very good spot now. But unfortunately, we were not able to... man, gosh, that's so bad too. Like, we literally had like such a good turn last turn, and we just absolutely just threw it away. I don't know why we grabbed... Well, actually, we had to grab the Frosmoth because we attached the capture manually. Oh, no, but then we only needed 3 to Hyper Beam. Yeah, so there was no reason for us to grab Frosmoth there. We could have literally just Hyper Beamed into the Dragapult, and it would have been absolutely super good. So I don't know what we're doing, to be honest, guys. Feel free to laugh at me. I completely deserve it, and I'm fine with that. I really am, because a lot of times, you know what, I'm not in a great mental state to be recording games and playing. But you know what? You guys know what you're getting when you watch these videos. You know what you're getting. And you can't complain about it. If we lose to this Dragapult, just know it's because I'm really bad at the game. Anyway, we draw into the research, so I kind of like having that research more so. I'm going to capture onto the Suicune. We're going to go ahead and drop that Gyarados down, and we're going to research. Finding a whole bunch of really good things, I think, here for sure. So I think what we want to do now, and what we kind of have to do now, is Ice Dance to this Gyarados. Now we can retreat into this Gyarados, and now I think what we should do is Hyper Beam. And if we Hyper Beam, we can actually get away with getting the KO here next turn with Get Angry if he does attack the active here. If he doesn't have like the boss's orders. I mean, he probably does, but you know what I'm saying. Inteleon, quick shooting Inteleon with Dragapult is actually a really good list. It's a very, very fun deck, and it's also just really great. All that bench sniping can be really, really, really good. And I believe it's also all damage counters as well, right? So I can't really be blocked with Mew, which is super cool. We're going to see the Level Ball come out. The Hyper Beam was kind of clutch there because it forces him to attach to the active if he wants to get to the attack off. And then we're going to KO, and then he, of course, won't be able to actually attach to his bench Dragapult this turn. So kind of still puts us like a turn ahead, I think. Unfortunately, though, we would have been in a much better spot if we had just Hyper Beamed last turn, I think. But who knows? Maybe the whole idea of us not doing that was good. Probably not. If he bosses orders here, like if he has boss energy, like we're in a really bad spot because then he can kind of KO the Frosmoth and the Crobat and whatnot this turn. But then after that, he doesn't really have a clear path. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really have like a lot that he can do because he has to attach to the active, and then this bench Dragapult won't really get the energies on. You know what I mean? So I think that that does help us. Yeah, and he is going to have to attach to the active. Do we see the boss this turn? I think that we definitely could see the boss. Boss would definitely hurt us, I think, but it wouldn't be like the end of the world. Because no matter what, he could KO all 3 of these guys, and that's 5 prize cards, but he's got to go through a Gyarados. And there's the boss. So definitely I think the correct play on his part. You know, I think that taking the 3 prize cards here is definitely really good for him. But you know, where does that kind of leave him, I suppose? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, what does that really do for him? I guess is my point. 3 prize cards, though, definitely not bad for our guy. Definitely not bad for our guy here. Now, if we Marnie and we don't draw into an energy, though, that is definitely going to be really tough, I think. So that's kind of what this comes down to. We have plenty of energies in deck. We have, yeah, okay, we also have Training Court as well, which is pretty good to get down. Okay, so let's Memory Capsule this dude here. Let's attach to this Gyarados. And we're going to go ahead and retreat. He only has 4 cards in hand, so I don't actually want to play Training Court yet. It just doesn't really help us to do so. But what we can do is Max Tyrant. We're going to get the KO, and now he has no energies on his board, which is definitely really good for us. We're taking 3 prize cards. Could we draw boss off the prize cards? That would be really nice. But if we win this game, I think it was literally just because of that one Hyper Beam play. Might not have seemed that important, but the fact is we had to attach to the active that turn to get the KO, and now he has no energies on his board. We are going to see the Shady Dealings in Teleon, which is cool. He's going to be able to grab 2 trainer cards. Now, we are down only 1 boss's orders. I think we have a couple left in the deck, so it would be super cool for us to find that, but we don't really have any way to draw any more cards at this point, unfortunately. Would have been really cool to draw into it last turn. But again, you know, it's also just kind of one of those deals where he has to hit a Gyarados, and if he ever hits a Gyarados, we can get angry and get the KO. So I think that we're in a fine position, nonetheless. I think that we're always going to be kind of in a fine position. I mean, if we find boss's orders, that's going to be absolutely broken because we can kind of just hyper beam him, and that would just be insane. He's going to reset stamp us. That's actually not that bad. Crushing hammers. So, hey, listen. Okay, never mind. Now he's going to Marnie us. I don't know what the whole point of all this was for him. I guess let's see what we draw into this time. Melony. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know. Nothing really happened that turn for him. Ooh, the Tool Scrapper, though, is actually really clutch. That means we're probably not going to be able to get any one-hit KOs. We're going to have to hit him twice. The VMAX, that is, to KO it, which I think is definitely really important. That Tool Scrapper, kind of random in Dragapult, but definitely super good for him, I think. Phenomenally good for him. We still have a lot of cards in deck, so I think we might just be popping up with the Research next turn, hopefully drawing into some Crushing Hammers, things like that. Here comes the Quick Shooting and Teleon. And I like this kind of turn from him here. This is probably a draw supporter, which is definitely going to be good. And, yeah, he's just going to whittle down this Crobat. Oh, we do not see the draw supporter for him. Definitely unfortunate, I think, if I'm being honest. But we can go ahead and feel free to research. You know what I mean? I'm feeling pretty fine about doing all that. We see the Capacious Bucket. Let's grab a couple of these Water Energies, and we can just kind of start attacking to this Gyarados. Now, I think we're in a kind of a good position overall. I just think that our damage output is a little bit too much for this Dragapult to handle, if I'm being honest. And if he ever does come into the Dragapult, we can boss it up and Hyper Beam him. We also, I think, have some Crushing Hammers left in our deck as well. So I think this matchup overall is good for us, even though we did make that really annoying misplay early in the game, which, again, I do apologize for that. You know, I think overall, he's got the Erica's Hospitality off the top deck. Overall, I mean, I think that we're still kind of showing what Gyarados can do. If we're winning this matchup, even though I played super badly, just imagine how crazy, how often you'd be able to win if you were playing and not misplaying all the time, right? Just kind of keep that in mind. I think at this point, this is where our opponent concedes. If I'm being honest, we're going to Hyper Beam. He's going to say, well played. We'll give him the heart. Gyarados VMAX, everybody. Not as bad as a lot of people think. Definitely really good. Hyper Beam, a lot of people are sleeping on. Mixed with Crushing Hammers can be a really annoying deck. 240 HP, or 240 damage, rather, combined with that 120. Definitely really good. We weren't able to showcase the Get Angry attack, and unfortunately, sometimes these videos just go like that, but definitely could have been really good. Trust me when I say... you definitely should take Gyarados VMAX somewhat seriously, especially post-rotation. Absolutely phenomenal and is a very dangerous Pokemon. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Maddie from Chill TCG. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, comment below. What do you guys think of Gyarados? How would you play Gyarados? You know, overall, do you think that it's better or worse than other Water-type VMAX options, things like Lapras and Teleon, Ice Rider especially? Definitely let me know. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to register for Chill Series 45 coming up this Wednesday. But you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys later today or tomorrow for more Evolving Skies deck profiles.